Right. Hey, y'all. So, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Danielle. I have been with It Works for a little over a year now. Actually, it's almost a year and a half now. That's crazy. And I am a diamond leader. I tend to have a 4-to-1 ratio when it comes to loyal customers and distributors. I enroll a lot of loyal customers, so I am going to essentially give you my step-by-step process tonight on how I do it. And just like last week, I'm going to create a document, and we will put that in our team page file, so on the One Team, One Dream group. We'll put that on there, and it'll have some sample scripts and stuff in there for you to use. So same thing that we talked about last week with enrolling distributors and getting people interested in being a distributor is posting. And you'll hear me talk about this over and over and over again, but everything is literally posting. So as far as getting customers, the 2 types of posts we want to be doing, the first one is going to be product posts. And so those highlight a certain product, whether that be the wraps, hair, skin, and nails, greens, anything like that. What I suggest if you're just now starting is to highlight the wraps, hair, skin, and nails, and the cleanse. And the reason I say those 3 is they have the best result pictures out there. Wow has really good result pictures as well. But you want something that's going to have a really good picture to go with your statement. And those tend to have the best ones. Another thing that I was going to mention, Christy, a while back, used to do what she called Spotlight Saturday or Spotlight Sunday. And she would essentially pick a new product, and she would do a little brief description on the product and just call that her Spotlight product for the day. And I really loved that idea because she was able to work in products like Estro Rhythm, Green's Chews, Relief, Thermofit, stuff like that. Stuff that we maybe don't normally post about because we don't really have results pictures on them. She was able to work in that way. So she was able to talk to a broader range of people because she's bringing out more products. I constantly talk to people, and they have no idea that we have more than wraps and hair, skin, and nails. I'm like, oh yeah, we have this and this, and what? They had no idea we had any of those products because I really do focus still to this day on 3 products. And so it's funny to me when I talk to people and they're like, I had no idea you had this other stuff. So I love the idea of doing a spotlight. And maybe you could come up with another little phrase for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Facial Friday.
What were you going to say?
Facial Friday.
Facial Friday. I do that one. I do Facial Friday. I love our skincare line, so I talk a lot about that. And that's what I was going to talk about in the second type of post is our testimony post. And so it's very, very crucial that you try at least one product, whether that be the wrap, greens, exfoliating peel, cleanser, try something. So then you have your own testimony. Wraps are perfect because you got 4 wraps in your kit. Just wrap yourself once. And all you need to do is talk about how it made you feel or how it felt on your body. What did it do for you? And that's really powerful. I think that sometimes we forget that we've tried any product and now we have a testimony because we've tried just one product. So I always encourage someone to share their own testimony. And I can tell you from personal experience, I get a lot of customers when they see my product post when I'm using it. I did a post yesterday about our It's Vital Core Nutrition and how it's a multivitamin and how I've been taking it and stuff like that. And I got 3 messages from people. So oh, well, I take multivitamins. You have one? They had no idea we had a multivitamin. So just things like that. Or use someone else's testimony. What I like to do in the groups is I like to just search the word testimony. If you're on your phone, sorry, I have the baby mom. Well, I say baby. I have little man's monitor right here with a camera, so I keep looking at him. Okay, so Rachel's group right here, you click on this search bar up here, and then just click on in this group, and you can type in a word. So I type in testimony, and I look to see what people have posted before. And most of those you can take. It'll say whether or not you can. If it says do not share, like obviously don't share that post. But most of them, a lot of people are like, yeah, sure, share it. And those get a lot of, likes, comments, stuff like that. What I wanted to mention in that as well is that while you're doing that, have a call to action in that post. So when I think of a call to action, I think of, not just saying, hey, this product did this and this and this for me, and leaving it there. Say, this product did this for me, and this is how I feel about it. I have 2 spots available. Do you want one? Or message me to get my discount or something like that. Leave a call to action. Leave them knowing what they're supposed to do. Are they just supposed to look at your post and that's it? Are they supposed to message you? Are they supposed to like? Are they supposed to comment? What do you want them to do? So I think that that's important. I think when I started doing that, I started getting more messages and I started getting more comments and likes on stuff. So the next thing, the same exact, it's funny because you're going to think of this is the same exact same as last week. But so you message people who like and comment on things. And I'm going to go over in a minute people that aren't liking and commenting. So don't think that I'm going to miss that because I'll definitely go over that. So these people who like or comment anything, you guys, I don't judge. I message absolutely everybody. And so I'm always I send out something. It's hey, thank you so much for the love of my post. Are you interested in hair, skin, and nails? Are you interested in growing out your hair? Are you interested in having, are you interested in losing weight? Are you interested in tightening, toning, and firming? I use those keywords in there. And so I go from there. They're either going to say yes or no. If they say yes, I'm like, great. They're usually well, what is it? And so I'm always and I go over the product description. And where I get that, if you go on your own website, it has a few sentences there. I'm going to look them for right now. But it gives a mini product description. So that's usually what I talk about is that mini product description. I don't give 2 paragraphs. I wrote down that I try to keep it no more than 2 sentences. So cleanser here. All that stuff right there. So it's it removes all oil, dirt, and makeup, even waterproof mascara. It's beautifying botanicals, gently cleanse without drying, and it's formulated for all skin types. So if someone's inquiring about cleanser, I'm probably going to say, you know what, I think it's so awesome because it's for every skin type, and it gently cleanses without drying your skin. And guess what? It even takes off waterproof mascara. I've not said more than 2 sentences. I've kept it short and sweet. And then usually the next question they ask is, well, how much is it? So here's what I do. I don't give someone an option to be a retail customer. I just never have. People go on my site and they can see the retail customer price and they can ask me about it, but I just don't really give that option. So then it's not a question of how much am I actually going to pay. They ask how much is it, and I said it's blank. So the cleanser would be $33. It's $33 for a loyal customer. And I always say loyal customer right there. Now, I get 2 answers from this. I either get awesome, that's great, or I get what is a loyal customer. If they ask what is a loyal customer, and this will all be in the document. This is what I say. I say it doesn't cost anything to become a loyal customer, but it allows me to give you my distributor pricing. All a loyal customer is someone who agrees to make one purchase a month for 3 months. You are in control of what you receive with your own login, which day your shipment runs, and what card you use. We have tons of products that supplement the wraps that start at $23. Or you could just get wraps each month. You could wrap your stomach, your arms, and your legs. Does that sound like something you could do? And I always end up with a question. It just makes it so much smoother. And I have to tell you, I've never had someone say, no, that's not something I can do. So they're either going to ask what a loyal customer is, or they're going to say, okay, great. If they say, okay, great, I said, would you like for me to get your order in or walk you through it online? I still have not told them what a loyal customer is because they haven't asked. I don't tell people things unless they ask. I don't think that that's being deceitful or anything, because I do bring up a loyal customer before they actually join, because there's a spot when they sign up to ask that question. But when you are word vomiting and you're answering questions that aren't being asked, people tend to back off a little bit, especially if the loyal customer program is not explained in a very laid-back fashion. If you are being very cautious about it and you're being very, I can't think of the word that I'm trying to think of, but if you're like, oh, it's an auto shipment and we're going to bill you each month and we're going to do this, no. If you talk about it like that and you talk about it like it's scary, it's going to be scary for the customer. If you talk about it like it's nothing big, it's nothing big. And I have people who order way past the 3-month mark because they knew exactly what they were getting into and they were fine with it. So again, if they do not, if they just say great and they say, awesome, and they're ready to walk through right then, that's very unheard of. But if they are ready to walk through right then, I go ahead and we start enrolling them. And when they see the pricing, they're like, well, you said it was this price. And I'm like, yeah. So, and then I send that paragraph. I say, you just have to do this. You just have one shipment for 3 months, blah, blah, blah. And I go through that same exact thing. So I bring it up right before they check out. It's always brought up, but it's only brought up when they kind of ask to hear it, essentially. Now, there are people who are going to tell you, no, not right now. I can't do this just yet, but I am interested. That's the 98% of my business. Well, 99.9% of my business is like that. And that's where this whole following up thing comes in. I have a calendar to organize people. I know some people use their phone and they put it in their phone calendar and you can set reminders in there and it can just send you one. Find a system that works for you and that is going to help you remember to message these people. I rarely have someone message me back and say, oh, I really, really wanted to order. I had someone do it last month and that was just really weird. Like, that never happens. Usually I'm messaging someone and saying, hey, I know you wanted to order. I am putting in orders today. Can I go and get yours in? Or, hey, I have 1 spot left this month for whatever they wanted. Do you want the spot? Or I have 1 spot left and I was thinking of you. Would you like to go ahead and order this today? I like to use the I was thinking of you phrase, because then people are like, oh, well, thank you so much for thinking of me. And then they're going to tell you, yes, I can order today. No, I can't order today. And then I just keep putting them in my calendar. So either, I always try to get a date out of them. If I can't get a date, if they can't tell me, oh, it's next Friday or it's the Friday after, or I get paid on Wednesdays, you can contact me then, they own my calendar for the very next Friday. Unless I'm talking to them on Wednesday and they don't have money. It goes the following Friday, if that makes sense. So I keep them in there until they no longer, they've already ordered. And then they now become a potential distributor for me. And just a nice big circle. So that is kind of how I start enrolling loyal customers. Now, if you are listening to this and you're saying, listen, Danielle, I am posting like crazy, but I am not getting any customers. I'm not getting any feedback on any of my posts or anything like that. There are a few steps that we need to take. If you are brand new and you're still in your first month, what I suggest you doing is messaging your family and friends. I know some family and friends are not that supportive. I have another alternative. But first, try your family and friends and see if you can at least get your 4 loyal customers that are going to have you qualified for that Ruby bonus. A good message to send out would be, I just started this new business and could really use your support. Would you be willing to try and pick out 2 options? Would you be willing to try wraps or cleanse for me? Would you be willing to try wraps or hair, skin, and nails for me? Would you be willing to try greens or hair, skin, and nails? The reason that I say pick 2 options is because then it's not overwhelming. And then you're not telling them, hey, go look at my site, go look at these 40 products and get back to me. No, I have spots for these 2 products. Which one can you do for me? Or if you've been in this business for a while, send a message out that says, hey, I'm relaunching my business. I'm super excited to do this. I have a few product tester spots. Would you be willing to do one of these products for me? And again, fill in the blank. Put a few products in there that you want someone to try. I always suggest wraps because our wraps have such crazy results on like 99% of body types. And some people take a few more wraps than others. I saw much more dramatic results after a few wraps than I did just one, but I still saw results after one. So I always suggest wraps. And it's 54 BV, which just helps you to increase your volume and increase your paycheck. And it's really so first and foremost, we're going to our friends and family. Now, if you are one of those people who is saying, Danielle, I've already been through all of my friends and family, none of them have ordered. This is when I start telling people we need to grow our network and we need to start actually creating relationships with people. We need to interact with others on Facebook and Instagram, vice versa, whichever one you want to use. For me, I've built 98% of my business on Facebook. So I just go through there and I create relationships and I talk to people. When you are posting, and never interacting with someone else, no one's going to interact on your profile. If you are constantly being encouraging to other people and liking and commenting and being an active person on their profile, they're going to start clicking over and they're going to start looking at what you're doing. And then they get interested. And so I do that a lot. And I've talked about this before, I friend 5 to 10 people a day on Facebook. I don't get all of those from requests answered and not everyone accepts me, and that's fine, I don't really care. But I'm just growing my network, and I've gotten, quite a few of my loyal customers from the past, I would say 6 months, have been because I've done that. They were not in my original circle of friends. They were because I was expanding my network. Another thing that I would suggest is the referral post if you are looking for customers and you're not getting interaction on your post. And the referral post is essentially this. You're going to send a message out. I would make a list of at least 100 people, if not 2. And I've made my list just going down Facebook and just messaging those people all the way down. But so you're going to send a message to these people and you're going to say, hey, I'm really excited about this business. I don't know if you know anyone who would be interested in losing weight or getting more energy, or someone who really would like to make an extra $200 to $500 a month. Would you mind if I posted on your Facebook profile? Would that be okay with you? Something super simple. I don't use a script for that because I usually try to make a connection with that person when I'm sending them that message. I did that message in March, and I signed, I'll have to go back and see how many loyal customers, but I know I signed over 10 loyal customers in April because I sent that message out in March, and I was able to connect with so many people that way. For me, I didn't even get a ton of referrals. I get a lot of people talking to me like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I haven't talked to you about this before, but I've been thinking about trying wraps or trying greens, or I see you post about this. What is it? So for me, it was just getting people to realize that I wasn't trying to sell to them. I just am trying to grow my business, and I would love for them to be, refer people to me. And if someone were to refer certain people to me and say they kept referring people, I would bring up the business to them and I would say, listen, you're clearly already good at this. You're like, you can keep making me money, or you can make money yourself. But that's really like, that's what I do to get loyal customers. I post, I message those people, I expand my network, and I follow up. Following up is the key. And that's the key for getting distributors too, is to continue to follow up with people. If you are messaging someone and they're not messaging you back, then I switch up the product. So say they were originally interested in wraps, I send them a message about lip and eye cream, or about greens, or just a random product. And I say that I have one more spot for a 90-day challenge for that product. And sometimes, I've gotten people say, oh, well, what is that? Or I send them a message. If they haven't been responding, I message them about their family or their kids or their dog or, their job. I message them something personal, because no one wants to be sold to. I don't want to be sold to. So when we make this a personal and relationship business, it becomes easier, really. It takes a little bit more time to create relationships, but it's worth it. I mean, I've gained more friends doing this, and it's definitely worth it to create more relationships with more people. And those people will definitely help your business. Does anyone have like specific questions? Because I would love to answer those if I haven't really answered anything. Erin, you got a question for me? I'll start calling people out. No one has questions? They don't know how to get loyal customers now?
You did a great job.
All right. Well, I'm going to stop recording this then.
Thank you.